there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking the drama and the fallout regarding REESA, TEESA versus Charlamagne the God and Just Hilarious, and now TAMRON Hall has entered the chat, people. What am I talking about? What is going on? So those of you who have been living under a rock and have no idea about the viral TikTok sensation, REESA TEESA, who put out this series on TikTok. It's like a 50-part series. I believe it's available on YouTube. It's like 8 hours long in total. And it's the series of Who Did the Bleep Did I Marry? And it is about her chronologically since 2020, this pandemic situationship that turned into a disaster with this man who had red flag after red flag from like within the first minute of this Who Did the Bleep Did I Marry stuff, right? And nonetheless, the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne and Just Hilarious, they're reacting to all of this, right? And so Charlamagne refers to REESA TEESA and basically says that she is giving, quote, big back energy. And then after that, he's explaining it in terms of women who are desperate, right? And so some people were trying to spin this as though, oh, he wasn't fat shaming, he wasn't coming for her looks or that sort of thing. But him and Just Hilarious specifically said that she looked like a big back, and Just Hilarious even doubled down and said that the husband was as big as her, that looked like her. And also said, that he had a big back too, referring to his appearance in relation to hers. So in fact, it was fat shaming. Right? So this, of course, causes all kinds of outrage. This, of course, causes all types of backlash. Of course, the black women are going to rally behind REESA TEESA. First and foremost, this is not the first time Charlamagne the God has dragged black women or has said something out of pocket about black women and all of the things, even though he likes to promote mental health and all these other things. But it's only mental health, I guess, when it comes to certain people, right? So due to the popularity of REESA TEESA, everybody, some people are supporting her, some people are saying, what were you thinking? And of course, the haters are out, right? So she had an appearance the other day on TAMRON Hall in which she referenced Charlamagne the God about a big media personality basically coming for her weight, and she was in tears, and she said, I am more than, what the scale says. I am not defined by my looks. I have X, Y, and Z to offer. It is very disappointing that this quote-unquote big personality in the media basically kept referring to me to this name as if, my appearance was all that there was to me, right? And so we'll see whether or not next week, if the Breakfast Club, if Charlamagne the God is going to issue an apology, or if Just Hilarious is going to issue an apology. Here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing, because for me, I don't feel like shaming anybody based off of like their looks or their weight, or if they have an issue with like drugs, alcohol, or that sort of thing. I don't like to throw things like that in people's faces when it has nothing to do with the issue at hand. Right? And if we want to get technical, it's very hypocritical for people to put so much onus on black women's weight, but you have no problem with non-black women and how big they are. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, right? What Charlamagne the God should have said was that he felt that based off of what was revealed and the red flags that were very alarming about this ex-husband of REESA TEESA's, that she was giving possibly, she was maybe coming across, pick-me-ish, maybe coming across maybe desperate, maybe just, because he was doing the bare minimum and also telling her everything she wanted to hear, and that's likely different from anything else that she had experienced, so it was easy to like suck her in with like the worst. But that is not the same thing as just calling somebody big back. I have never heard of anybody being referred to as big back that was not a dig at their physical appearance, people. But if you're strictly trying to, critique, articulate,
defend your opinion against this and say, hey, there were all these red flags. You said at the first moment that he had a Facebook profile and a Hinge profile and basically clowned you for finding him on both places. That right there should have told you what it was. That he was there just looking for anybody, right? But again, it was the bare minimum. And these pandemic relationships, people, these pandemic relationships, where they're love bombing you, where they're telling you everything you want to hear, where the unknown, the uncertainty is upon us in the pandemic because nobody knows what's going to happen in the future of COVID, if we're going to be here tomorrow or not. And so we're just going to be on as many dating apps as possible. We're going to be on the free ones and the paid ones, and we are going to see who is going to fall for our lines. Who is going to fall for our bare minimum tactics, right? And then once you find somebody, and you find somebody to pull in and listen, to your foolishness and watch you do the bare minimum, then you got them, right? Then you got them, and then you can scam even harder, right? And that's what this was, right? But this has nothing to do with REESA TEESA's weight, people. It is not a man being a player or whoever, right? Whoever is dating who, right? In this day and age, right? If you're going to play somebody, if you're going to clown somebody, if you're going to run game on somebody, guess what? It doesn't matter what you look like, people. There are people who are overweight who get cheated on. There are people who are skinny that get cheated on. There are people who are overweight that get scammed. There are skinny people who get scammed. This isn't exclusive. It doesn't discriminate people against race or gender or socioeconomic status. None of that matters, people. If somebody thinks they have a mark, they're going to see it through and pursue it through until they get what they want out of it. And they're going to see how long you're going to stick around, and they continue with the scam, and they scam even harder, right? But there's still clear signs that they don't want to claim you, right? And again, this is where, wisdom, experience, being of sound mind comes into play. This has nothing to do with your looks or weight, people. Nothing to do with that. If somebody's going to play you, they're going to play you. If you seem too nice to somebody, if you seem too eager to somebody, if you seem too easygoing and you're not going to initially, or you're one of those people who are going to overlook red flags because you're just happy somebody's giving you attention, they have their mark. They have hit the jackpot, people. But this is nothing to do with REESA TEESA's weight, people, or how she looks or her appearance. So referring to her as big back is completely unnecessary. The reason why this has gone viral, the reason why this has so many millions of views on TikTok, and those of you who are uploading it as well on YouTube, because either you don't have TikTok or you don't want to sit through those little 10-minute increments to go, to each one or whatever. The reason it's viral is because many people can relate. Many people can relate in either a past or present situation where they got, played. They got scammed by somebody. They thought somebody was on the up and up, and that person turned out to be a complete fraud. That person turned out to, at first, with the love bombing, making you seem like everything was going to be, rainbows and flowers and all these things. And then at some point, the bombs start to drop. And they want to see how many bombs they have to drop before you decide, hey, you know what? This isn't worth it. You know what? This is too much for me to deal with. You know what? I need to step back from this and leave this situation immediately, right? But this is not exclusive to what somebody looks like, right? And I see there's so many people, they're making the Kevin Samuel references. They're calling REESA TEESA Big Shirley, and they're saying that, Kevin Samuels would have told her that, she's not of high value, so she shouldn't have even, partook in this in the first place. I see you guys. I see you guys in the manosphere. I see you. But this isn't it. This isn't it. If somebody's going to play you, they're going to play you. And that's just the game. It has nothing to do with your looks. Those of you who don't know, I talk a lot about Love and Marriage Huntsville on my channel. And the star of that show, Melody Cherie Rogers, she was cheated on for years by her ex-husband, and he got his mistress pregnant. And she actually was pregnant multiple times because her and her ex-husband have 4 kids together, and she was trying to get pregnant with a couple of those pregnancies at the same time to compete with the wife people. And she's skinny. The wife is skinny. Melody Cherie Rogers. She's skinny. She's pretty. Is successful. All of these things. So again, if a man is going to play you, he's going to play you. And it has nothing to do with you or your looks or anything. If they feel like they can scam somebody, if they feel that they can try to take advantage of somebody, if they feel that they can be in a rebound situationship of sorts, and you're the cleanup woman to get them together so that they can be the right man for the woman they actually do want, that is what is going to happen. But it is nothing to do with your weight, people. So this big back reference was completely necessary. And the other thing I want to say too is, because as much as people try to play online like they want certain people to be a size 0 or a size 2 or size 4 or whatever, and that they're not into plus size women or women who have a little bit more to love and all of these things, then why are so many of you trying to flex on social media? And saying how, you know, love, there's no boundaries, right? It doesn't matter what you look like and blah, 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 blah. You're trying to sell us your love story on YouTube and TikTok and everywhere else, right? Some of you have those particular tastes. Some of you are attracted to a certain type of physique, right? And a certain type of look. So don't act brand new right now and just diminish people who get played down to their looks, because there's people who are skinny. There are people who, look like models, who look like movie stars, and they still get played too, people. They still get cheated on too. So this isn't exclusive to your weight, your appearance, how much money you make, what race you are. None of that matters. If somebody's going to play you, they're going to play you. And a lot of that time, like I said, with these pandemic relationships in particular, people are looking for marks, and people are love bombing, and people are seeing how far they can go. And if you're more successful than them, then they feel like they've hit the jackpot, and they're even going to try to, spearhead this even further to see if they can get access to your money or see how much money you're willing to give them for foolishness, right? And that's the game. But again, it has nothing to do with your looks, people. If somebody's going to play you, they're going to play you. And that's just what it is. And the big thing, the big reason people do this too, is people are insecure. People are insecure. People did not receive a certain level of attention. People are intimidated by certain people. And instead of, working on themselves, trying to learn a new trade, trying to learn something new and advance themselves and make themselves more successful, they take it out on the significant other that they're dealing with. And they decide that their significant other is too successful, has too much going on, so I need to find a way to humble this person. And the way that they think that they can humble them is by playing them, is by cheating on them, is by disrespecting them, is by undermining them, is being a narcissist, is doing all of these things, manipulation, all of these things. But again, nothing to do with your looks, people. Nothing to do with how much education you have. Nothing to do with where you work at. Nothing to do with where you live at. If somebody is going to play you, they're going to play you. And that's just what it is. And that's the piece that Charlamagne and Just Hilarious, where they're just trying to look for like a quick laugh and a quick shade at somebody to get the algorithms going. Had they took a step back and actually gave a, thoughtful and analytical response to the situation at hand, instead of just going for the jugular and just saying something that is going to piss off some people, and just basically saying things that people are going to correlate to fat shaming and shaming somebody based off of their weight, you should have taken a step back and really assess. But that nobody's listening and watching your show anymore. The ratings aren't the same. So you have to say crazy stuff like this to get yourself in the algorithm so that people can talk about you, so people can react to you. And that's what we have here. So there is that. So let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think of all of this in the totality? And did you see the 50-part special of the Why Did I Bleep, you know, who the bleep I get married to? In regards to REESA TEESA and this ex-husband of hers, have you heard the comments by Charlamagne and Jess Hilarious on the Breakfast Club calling her a big back and kept referencing her and her ex-husband as big back? And then REESA TEESA recently going on TAMRON Hall in tears, basically referencing Charlamagne the God as quote-unquote the big media personality, but basically said, listen, I am more than my appearance, and I did not get played or get taken advantage of like this because of how I look. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.